The Enforcement Directorate has recovered around rupees 36 lakhs in cash from the Delhi residence of Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren. A search team of the Enforcement Directorate and police of different states were after him once he went missing from his house in South Delhi earlier. And after they concluded the search and waited for him unsuccessfully at his residence, the Enforcement Directorate left and seized a car along with some other materials. Is arrest the next step when it comes to the Chief Minister? What is likely to happen in Jharkhand after this? Obviously, the opposition is crying foul at this point in time that this is nothing short of a witch hunt, but we'll still get opinions from our panelists. Pooja Tripathi, Congress spokesperson, joining me on the program. Rajalakshmi Joshi, senior political analyst, also with us on the show. Mr. L.N. Rao, former DCP Special Cell, the terrorist wing, he also joins us on the program.
Going around since morning that Hemant Soren is untraceable. He was there in his Delhi house. Now he comes up in Jhansi. He takes MLA's meeting. Hemant Soren is still untraceable. He's gone missing and things like that. So I think this kind of witch hunt to bring parties down, witch hunt to break the vulnerable sections of the politics.
Okay, Rajalakshmi Joshi, how do you respond to what Pooja has said? Is this actually a witch hunt according to you?
Good evening, Vinny. Dr. Pooja, she's very eloquent and she has put across a lot of points, etc., etc. But nowhere did I hear anything about what exactly are the charges against Mr. Hemant Soren, which is, it is a huge thing that, a chief minister of a state, he actually goes missing, and Dr. Tripathi seems to make absolutely light of it. He has actually completely, he has dismissed 9 summons against him. The ED summons. This is something that the some enforcement agencies are requesting you to come before them and answer some queries, and this person is not even answering them. See, Dr. Pooja Tripathi, her own political party leaders, Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi, they have been attending, they have been appearing before enforcement agencies. So what is the problem behind all these people? Even Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, Mamata Banerjee, her party, what is this attitude about not facing the investigations? So, after all of this investigation, if it turns out that there is nothing, then obviously they will definitely be let go. So why are they already scared? Is Mr. Soren sure that he is going to be arrested? See, this is the kind of an attitude that I am seeing that a lot of these political parties are taking nowadays. When it comes to Mr. Lalu Yadav, this is nothing new. He was under prosecution. He was under all these trials even during the Congress time, and he is under trial today also. So what is new about it? So there is nothing new. So these charges, these things have come out of a lot of evidence against them. There is a lot of strong evidence against Mr. Soren in terms of land grabbing, in terms of illegal mining. So all of that, he needs to be answering all those queries. It is not without reason that he has been picked up. So he has been questioned. So he is not even ready to face the questioning. Now, Mr. Kejriwal, he is talking about how this is political vendetta, but look at all his senior political leaders, how they are actually facing, they are in jail and they are not even getting the a bail from the Supreme Court also. So it is not as if all of this is happening without any reason. So, instead of whataboutery, I think there should be some kind of an introspection as to why all these political leaders, how they can be sitting on so much huge corruption. So, when Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, he questions Sonia Gandhi and he questions all the Congress leaders, then the Aam Aadmi Party was happy at that time. But now today when they are in alliance, Mr. Kejriwal has forgotten all about it. At one time when, the Congress spokespersons, they give out a press conference saying that this Sharab Ghotala has nothing to do with the education ministry and that there is this huge case against Mr. Sisodia. At that time, it was a different thing. But once they came into an alliance, now suddenly everything goes under the carpet. So, you cannot keep changing your statement like this. So, I feel that all these people, they have suddenly come out saying political vendetta, and the only reason they are there in this alliance is for 2 reasons. One is that without coming together, they cannot actually face the BJP, and the second one is that they all know that they are all into deep corruption. So they are like, tum bhi chup, main bhi chup, and everybody is happy. So that is how they are looking at it. So I don't see that either Mr. Lalu Yadav or Mr. Soren, or see, just don't forget that even in Chhattisgarh they were facing huge corruption charges, and that is the reason why even the public did not support them, and it was a huge shock to the Congress, obviously, because they did not realize the public sentiment. They have to at some point understand that everything doesn't go just like that by sweeping it under the carpet. You have to take action against your leaders who are facing corruption charges. I think that's the only way out of it.
If somebody has committed some crime, he has to face the music about it. And as per law of our land, the action will be taken against him. And then, if definitely, Serene, I suggest that he should definitely before ED, and if he's clean and if he's innocent, then he should explain the allegations. Then he will come out, as earlier ma'am was saying, that why is afraid of it. But definitely there is some, कहते हैं ना चोर की डाली में तिनका, वही वादी बात है कि अंदर से चोर है तो फिर कहाँ भागेंगे, कब तक बचेंगे.
Would you like to respond to what Rajalakshmi also pointed out, that it's not about witch hunt, it's also about the criminality here, it's also about the culpability, and it's incumbent upon the agencies to chase after these charges and the people who are responsible for it.
Tea estate in Hemanta Biswa Sarma's wife's name. The corruption involved supply of PPE kits, unaccounted transfer of money from Kolkata firms to his wife's firm's names. Then there's an international school that's run by the Sarma family. Then they have a yarn company that purchases all the silk of Assam. They have a monopoly on silk and on media and everything. Purchases all the silk of Assam at a cheap price from weavers and sells now in the market at a very high price. So I'm saying that.
Vineet, I would just request Dr. Tripathi that please, if you have such a huge amount and such a big list, and if you have details of all the corruption by any of those BJP leaders, please put it across. I am not here going to defend anybody. I am not here going to say that so and so is corrupt or not corrupt. Because if you have any such proof or evidences, please put it across, and I'm sure that they will definitely be taken up. A lot of people, they have been questioned and interrogated, and a lot of things have happened. Even during the Congress times also, like you saw in the 2G case also, the Congress own ministers also were there, but that happened because there were some whistleblowers and they had put up a very strong case. So then they had to actually put up a case against none less than even Mr. P. Chidambaram also was one of the people who were accused. There were huge, there were this big ministers like Iraja and the Marans, all of them were, they were accused in that. So you put out all those evidences, and I'm sure that something will happen out of it. So here, all I am saying is, now here there is an incriminating evidence against a lot of people. Now the Enforcement Directorate has said that they have apprehended some 14 individuals, including one person called Chavi Rajan, and she is a 2011 IAS officer, and these people have held pivotal roles in the state's social welfare department as the deputy commissioner of Ranchi. So these are not small individuals. So these are the people who have been accused in this huge racket of illegal charge or change of ownership of land by the mafia. So this is a huge charge, and it runs into crores. So I think that instead of actually simply saying that how can a chief minister just go missing for 18 hours just like that? He was supposed to be taking a flight, and instead of that he just goes missing, and then he comes by car and he says, there is no rule saying that I have to travel by flight. So instead of attending to a summons, instead of answering to it, he suddenly goes missing. And then after that, Ms. Pooja, you're actually here saying that what is wrong if he is missing? I mean, it's strange. At least I know that you're an intelligent person. At least, you can come up with some better replies. Don't demean yourself by, defending such people. See, these charges are not something frivolous. So right now we are talking about the charges against Mr. Hemant Soren, and there's a reason why he went missing during the 10th summon. He was summoned for the 10th time, and it wasn't like there was no arrest warrant, but he was just asked for questioning, and the person, instead of going for questioning, like Dr. Rao, he was talking about how there are people who go and they destroy evidences. So that is the reason why you are expected to answer to the summons. So instead of doing the answering the questioning, you just go missing. The chief minister of a state goes missing, and you see nothing wrong about it. I feel it absolutely strange. How can you defend such a thing? See,
Okay, let her respond to you. Let her respond to you very quickly. All right, quickly. We've run out of time as well.
Vinny, Ms. Rajlakshmi Joshi just mentioned the 2G Spectrum case. I want to read out the 1552 page order. The special judge O.P. Saini held that no criminality or conspiracy in spectrum allocation, and said some people created a choreographed, selected facts and exaggerating things beyond recognition to astronomical levels, and he freed all of them. Just this one point I wanted to remind Ms. Joshi. She has been going.
Vinit, I just want
Let
to
her finish.
update.
Let her finish. Rajalakshmi, let her finish. Let her finish. Let her finish.
Everyone has been free, Ms. Joshi. Everyone has been free.
I just want to.
Rajalakshmi, let her finish. Let her finish.
I am reading out Special Judge Mr. O.P. Saini's statement saying this prosecution's case was choreographed, exaggerated to astronomical levels, freeing all the convicts, which is not the case with Mr. Biswa Sarma's allegation that I read out has come, freeing all the convicts. And this is a serious case of allegation. And it's all in public eye. Everything is there in the public eye. There's nothing to hide. You can go on and Google everyone.
Okay, we've run out of time. Rajalakshmi, 10 seconds for you and 10 seconds for Mr. Rao as well, and then we wrap up.
Yes. Vinit, I just want to update Dr. Tripathi that the Enforcement Directorate, after the order that she was reading about, after that order, on March 19, 2018, the Enforcement Directorate approached the High Court and challenging the special court's order on December 2017. And after that, the Delhi High Court has said that it will start a hearing on day-to-day basis based on the appeals of the CBI against the acquittal of former Telecom Minister A. Raja and others. So they have yet to do this hearing, and it is not over. And this case is still pending because the Enforcement Directorate has filed a fresh appeal based on new evidences that have been submitted.
Okay, all right. I want to hear from Mr. Rao as well. He's been waiting. Mr. Rao?
Yes. I must add this with Dr. Tripathi that yes, I do agree that if some cases acquitted before the SSS judge and then it go for appeal, and in that case also that is still, you can say until the appeal is pending, it cannot be said that totally acquitted. So, and another thing I want to let you know that for your viewers, the ED, this Enforcement Directorate is not only one officer can do it. They have to seek approval from so many line of action that senior officers are to be involved in such type of the serious and sensational cases. Not only one person can do that who can be influenced. On the line, all the officers from the line of the bottom and till top, they are all involved in taking decisions against some person. So this type of cases, and we cannot say that some person have been left and you should also leave him.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the logic. Absolutely. The law has to be equal for all. That's exactly the point. I'd like to thank all my guests for being a part of this conversation.